except for the weekends. But from Mondays to Fridays, we usually hold this market call, and you're very welcome to today's market call. Please, if you're here to share the link with everyone, kindly share the link on your various social media platforms to everybody you think and you know that this will be beneficial to. Kindly share this link with them so that they can benefit from that which you're benefiting from. I'll give us just 30 seconds. Time is already fast spent before we head straight to the chat. So kindly share the link before we continue with today's market color session. All right, while we're still in the process of sharing the link, we'll just head straight to the chat. We'll be analyzing the XY, Euro USD, GBP USD for this session before I have my colleague come up to analyze the yen and precious metals. So down to the XY on our weekly time frame, we can see that price is clearly bullish, right? Price retraced to 78.6% fib level, but from that place, retraced back into 61.8% fib level and kept buying to the upside on the weekly time frame for the XY. Although there was a bit of retracement into this very tiny fair value gap here, I will just mark that. I'll mark that here. It's very tiny, too tiny. Price tapped into it and continued its buy to the upside on the weekly time frame. And where do I see price? Where am I interested in seeing price coming to? I see price trading into this fair value gap. It is very far, of course. And if price trades into this fair value gap, I'll be confident enough to take my first profit, and then I'll be interested to see price taking out this high too on the weekly time frame. It is long term, so it won't take place today. On the long term, I am bullish on the XY for our weekly time frame. And then down to our daily time frame, right? Daily time frame is also clearly bullish, as we can see. And then I can see that there's some sort of a fair value gap here. When the news came out on Wednesday, there was a big momentum candle to the upside. I'll just mark that here, right? So I'm expecting that price will sell off into this fair value gap before it continues its buy to the upside. And for our 4-hour time frame too, right? It is clearly bullish. Price is buying to the upside rapidly. But then there's a gap here. There's a momentum candle here that I expect price to, retrace into, sell a little into before buying to the upside. So for today, I am actually looking out for the sell of the XY. Sell to buy. The overall trend is an uptrend. The sell is just a retracement for us to continue our buy to the upside. On a 1-hour time frame too, I am also seeing that price will retrace into these fair value gaps here before it continues its buy to the upside. So my bias this morning for the XY is sell to buy. So I am looking out for sales just to catch the retracement before I continue my buy to the upside for the XY. And then quickly to Euro USD. I'm just going to take all of this out. On our weekly time frame, we can see that price is, clearly bearish. I'm just going to fib from point A to point B, right? And then we can see that price traded into 78.6% fib level on 1-hour time, on the weekly time frame, I beg your pardon, and then it tanked to the downside, retraced into 61.8% level, and it continued its sell to the downside on the weekly time frame for Euro USD currency pair. I beg your pardon, please hold on a little. All right, sorry for that breaking transmission, right? So for our daily time frame, we can see the price is also clearly bearish, but then when price sold off, we can see that a gap was left here. So what do I expect, or what do I see price doing today? What do I think price might do today? I expect that price will buy into this gap to fill it up before it continues its sell to the downside on our daily time frame. And down to our 4-hour time frame, right? There are also gaps left here. I expect price to, buy to fill up these gaps, possibly come here. I'm just going to draw my horizontal line here. Sorry for that breaking transmission. I'm just trying to show something. Right? Okay. So when price gets here, the support level, I expect price to sell off from this level where support becomes resistance. Price will fill up these gaps, trade into this support level and sell off from here. On our 1-hour time frame too, still the same thing. I expect price to buy all the way to fill up these gaps and then continue its sell to the downside. For the Euro USD, I am buying to sell. The buy is just catching of the retracement to continue the overall trend to the downside, the overall sell to the downside. So I am bearish on Euro USD, but for today, I'll be looking out for buys to the upside to fill our various points of interest before slamming it down to the downside. On our weekly time frame for GU, GU is also clearly bearish. Price, retraced to 78.6% fib level, and price still reacting off to the downside from that point. On our daily time frame, right, we can see that price is also clearly bearish. And where do I see price coming into if it will continue itself to the downside? I see price coming into this zone, selling off completely into this zone, right? But for today, I can see that during the CPI news on Wednesday, price sold off dangerously, if there's anything like that. And then it left some gaps here. It left this gap here. So what do I see GU doing? I see GU trading off into this gap, buying into this gap to continue itself to the downside on our daily time frame. And for our weekly time frame, right, there are also gaps that GU will buy into to fill before continuing its sell to the downside. And I also see GU trading into, you can see this line that has been marked here. I see GU trading into this line and selling off from here, where support becomes resistance to continue its sell to the downside. And also note that we always want to sell at premium and buy at discount. So I am willing to look out for my entry signature, base formation, variation, and then I'm comfortable to, buy GU to those gaps, right? And to this line to this support level, whereby I see that when price gets to this level, it becomes resistance and then I will be willing and confident enough to ride my sell to the downside. So I am speculating a buy to the upside for today, and then when price gets to a point of interest, we will be comfortable to follow the trend to the downside, our sell to the downside. So that will be it for the London session. That will be my analysis for London session. We will be having a recap during the New York session by 3 p.m. So kindly take note of the time and do avail yourselves for the New York session. That will be it for my session. We'll be going on a brief break. And then after the break, Lekon will be coming up to take his own analysis for the precious metal and the yen. So that will be it for my analysis.
Good morning, profitable traders. It's been a great season. Once again, Baraka de Salah to every of our Muslim traders on the team. Baraka de Salah, and I believe you enjoyed your Salah break. It's a very sweet break here too, and you enjoyed it. Enjoy Ramadan so far, and may God, Almighty Allah, accept our act of ibadah. Ameen. Bismillah. So let's go straight into the chat this morning. And as we are going to be looking deeply into the SAU, the gold totally, as you can see, gold has been strongly bullish, like we said, since last week. For over 2 weeks to 3 weeks now, gold has been in a full buy momentum, seeking different highs on daily basis. Today, again, is going to form another new high. As you can see on the screen, is trying to form a new high again, and that is around the 2,400 level, as you can see. So don't think you can let me quickly take a sell. There's nothing to sell in this market at all. Anytime you see your buy entry, just enter and buy. Just keep buying and let it be going that way. But until we see a clear break of market structure, and we are going to look deeper into that to the lower time frame to see where exactly is it coming back to for us to know when to enter and when to exit. Now, seeing it on the weekly time frame, if you can see the weekly time frame now, that's a very strong bullish momentum confirmed. All throughout this week, gold has been fully bullish. I know in the course of the new CPI and yesterday too, we saw the sell to the downside. However, it's just a pullback, and instantly in less than 1 to 2 hours, it reverses all the sell trade. Now, that is what you and I should be very, very careful and mindful of. If your setup did not show up, then you shouldn't take it up. All right. So that is it. If you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, you are going to see it's still very much on that same trend. Now, on the 1 hour, what are we seeing on 1 hour? We've not seen any break of market structure at all. And if we did not see that, all we should be looking out for is a buy momentum. Now let's come to the lower time frame. If we can see levels where the buy are, sitting where you can easily buy on the 15-minute time frame. Now, if you look at the 15-minute time frame, you are going to see clearly that price, this is a sweep here, this is a sweep here, and you've seen a forceful break to the upside, and price came back again into that level. So this could have been a level to buy yesterday. That was around 330 yesterday, 330, all the way to the upside. That's the buy level for yesterday. However, today there has not been any signal for any buy of gold. This season, just if you know that you don't have the mind enough to trade gold, just avoid it. Avoid it for now. If you know you don't have, just go to pairs like GU, EU, AU, and the likes like that. So, but for gold, if you know you don't have the mind to trade the precious metal, just avoid it now. As we can see, that is forming all-time high daily. And now I'm still of the opinion that it's still going to form a new high today again, which is going to be around the 2400 level or even above that level. And that's what it's trying to do right now. So if you come to a lower time frame, let's say 5 minutes, and we are looking at 5-minute time frame, we've not really seen a clear break of market structure there. I know someone will say that the body of the candle closes below this low, and it's just using wick to test this low. So there's nothing break here. There's no any break of market structure here. So for the precious metal now, just stay out, or if you see your entry signature for a buy, you can easily take the buy and ride it all the way to the upside. Now let's quickly look at the Japanese yen. What's going on in the Japanese yen? Let's quickly look at the yen basket now. Now, if you look at the yen basket on the daily time frame, you are going to see what we've been looking out for to see on the yen basket is this week, all throughout this week, we've actually been expecting the yen basket to be bullish. However, we can see that instead, yen basket came again to tap into this low. Can you see it? The all-time low again and form a new low. So that is a big level of concern. As a matter of fact, on Wednesday during the CPI, I was trying to short GJ, and we are still going to look at that particular trade too. But spread took me out of the short, and it was a very big, a devastating blow. All right. So if you look at 4-hour time frame for the yen basket, you are going to see is building more of liquidity at this low here. Look at it. It's just building liquidity at this low here. And you've known it to be whenever liquidity is built, then there's high tendency to just break structure here and come back to take out the liquidity that has been built, then resume its buy all the way to the down to the upside. Now, looking at what price is still saying right now, we are still very much bearish on the yen basket. However, we've not seen a clear market structure shift. And you can see someone would say this is the low. We've seen this is the sweep, and we've seen a break. Price came back to that shoulder to buy all the way. Yes, you're correct. So we are expecting it to long all the way to the upside. We've been anticipating this long on the yen basket for a very long time now, but it seems like it's not ready. However, we are still looking out for that long for the yen basket. Now, if you look at it on the 15-minute time frame, we've seen a clear market structure shift to the upside, and that's what is going on right now to the upside. So let's quickly take a look at GJ, which is the correlated pair to the yen basket. Now, if you look at GJ, what's really going on the Japanese yen, looking at it on the daily time frame, if you've been following us, let's see it from the monthly time frame. There's a level, great. You see, we said it sometimes last month that the GJ has high tendency of coming to clear this particular high here. You see, this is a very strong high at this level that gives all this move to the downside. And that is why we are seeing price, coming all the way again into that level last month and even this month too. So this is more of just put your eyes on GJ, just watch out for it when it gives that entry for the full sell. because the moment it clears this level, then it's going down. And if you look at it on the weekly time frame too, you are going to see on the weekly time frame, we've seen a clear shoulder pattern. This is it, and we've seen a break to the downside. Now price has cleared this liquidity. We expect this high to hold, like this top here to hold. So we can see any short can happen on GJ anytime soon. Because if you look at it on the weekly time frame, like you're seeing here now, you are going to see what price is doing. There's this other block here. Can you see it on the weekly time frame that price is actually reacting to? So we expect that price, when price taps into this other block, should try to collapse all the way to the downside again. So that is for the weekly time frame. Now on the daily time frame, what are we seeing on GJ? You're going to see on the daily time frame, GJ is still very much bullish all the way to the upside. However, we can still see a last push. There's high tendency for that last push. Remember, the yen basket has liquidity being built below, so which means there's high tendency for it to just come, clear that liquidity, and resume the bullish move we've been anticipating for a long while. So if that is going to happen on the yen basket, then we want to see price come to clear this particular high. Then we should see structure all the way to the downside. If we look at it on the 4-hour time frame, what have you been seeing on the 4-hour time frame? So yes, this is what is happening on the 4-hour time frame. It's more like, okay, this is our shoulder and this is the sweep. We've seen the forceful break to the downside, and price has been reacting from that level. You can see it here. Great, this is it. So you can see it. Price has been reacting from that level all the way to the downside. So that is the major thing you should look out for. You see it now. So this is the shoulder. We've seen the sweep, we've seen the break, and that's where price is reacting from to the downside on the Japanese yen. Now, after that, if you look at it on the 1-hour time frame, and see again, we've seen a very clear break to the downside, of which we can still see the break to continue all the way to the downside. This was on Wednesday, where I told you I was taken out by spread this place. I was trying to sell GJ at this particular level, and I was taken out with spread opening during the CP high. All right. So, however, we are still looking very clearly on the GJ for a sell entry. So if you go to your 15-minute time frame, you see your entry signature for a sell. Why not take it all the way to the downside? Now, look at what is happening here. I'm still of the opinion that for price to have done this to the downside, so if price by any way or any means rallies all the way back to this level, this top here, and you see this shoulder here, then this would be a very strong level to short GJ all the way to the downside again. This is it. So you've seen it, you've seen the shoulder, you've seen the sweep, and you see the forceful break. So if by any means GJ rally all the way to this place, you're going to load it again at this particular point and see how far it goes all the way to the downside again. So that is the POI for another sell again, with our stop loss above this high. All right. So that is what we are looking out for. And if you are looking out to buy, then just make sure you are very, very careful, because we've seen where GJ is on the weekly time frame, and even on the monthly time frame is at a very strong high, where we expect price to start coming down. So that is the analysis for the yen basket and also for the precious metal. So if you have any question, you can easily type in the chat box. Let us know if there's any question in the chat box. And remember, the best thing you can do for us as you enjoy this market color on a daily basis is share the link, invite someone else, let other people be beneficial from this particular top-down analysis. Share the link with them, invite as many as possible that you can, and let them also partake of this analysis. So if there's any question, let's quickly take it. Is there any question, please? All right, for those who are just joining us, all these are markup. We have a particular group where we share a particular setup, trade cost, trade entry with SL, take profit, all those levels are shared there, where myself and every other traders on the floor, CJ, Demola, Cynthia, Abigail, where we share our trade calls there. So all you need to do is make a deposit, create an account using the link in the chat box. That is our IB link with our preferred broker, Okta. When you create the account and make a deposit of as low as $200. I want to say $30,000, as low as $200. So when you make that deposit, just screenshot it and send it to us on Telegram. When you send it to us on Telegram, we are going to look at it and add you to that TDA Plus group where you are going to see every trader's trade that we take here on the floor, and you can easily follow us. As you know, Friday is meant for withdrawal. So that is what we do on the TDA Plus group. Make sure you are there and also follow us very quick as much as possible. Yeah, minimum deposit is $200. As much as you can, just try and make that, and we'll add you to it, shouldn't matter. Also, we have, for those who truly don't have enough time to trade the currency market, but all you have is weekend, and weekend, the currency market doesn't open on weekend. So we have our synthetic training. We call it ATM cash flow, where we teach you how to trade the synthetic market profitably. So you can easily join that particular class. It's starting this month edition, is starting in 2 weeks time, next week rather. So make sure you register, and the cost is just for 100,000 naira. 100,000 naira. Make sure you register for that, where we teach you how to trade the volatility index for, very, very simple, using our indicators. So we are going to share our indicators with you, and you are going to use it. Yes, that's the flyer in the chat box. Just follow it through, look at it, and make sure you register and enroll for the class, and you are going to enjoy it. It's going to be a very great one. Our students are doing well and cashing out in the 75 and also some other volatility index issue we are going to be teaching you. But that is it majorly there. That's the flyer there. Make sure you enroll, and we look forward to have you on board as soon as possible. Now, so remember, the top-down analysis is not just in the morning. As you all know, in the afternoon, we have the New York session of this same market call-off. So by 3 p.m., join us for the recap of what has really played out between the London session and the beginning of the New York session, where we are going to be showing you again where exactly do we think the market is going to, and what exactly are we expecting the market to do. Make sure you are there, and remember to trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. It's very, very important. Good morning, sir. Morning, sir. Can you hear us, sir?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I can hear you. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, Sashi, good morning. Good morning. So, I don't really have much to say. This week was a very interesting week of in the markets because I wasn't really expecting the divergence between gold and the dollar to continue. It's very interesting to see. Let's see gold on the daily and let's see the dollar on the daily. So I'm still waiting for the correlations to return with regard to that. Okay, so this is gold. Just tapped into almost tapping 2,400 all-time high. Let's see for the dollar index. Dollar index. DXY, if we can tile it. So that is a bit interesting for me because I usually like to see clear divergence. Something weird has been going on for a long time. So with regard to the sentiment, it's quite weird. If you notice since March, okay, so let's zoom them to the same. That's why I said you should have an MT4. You should have an MT4 open, guys, not just trading view. You should have an MT4 open. All right. So, but let's look at it clearly. Since put your cursor so we'll know the exact date. That 2024. Let's see. Okay, so 8th of March, Friday, the 8th of March. Then let's see on the other side. That same Friday, the 8th of March. Go to Friday, the 8th of March, the same time. Okay, so yeah, all right. So okay, since you're doing the two at the same time, so you can see where it started from. There was negative correlation, which is the normal thing. When gold is going up, dollar should be coming down. And that has been on since, so since the 8th of March, something very interesting has been happening. It usually happens on the lower time frame, but it's rare for it to happen on the higher time frame. So you see dollar index has been trending upwards and gold has been trending upwards. That is extremely unusual because gold is priced versus the dollar. So the trade that one should have taken, right, is actually XAU-JPY, but that's a story for another day. That's actually the trade that sentiment supports. So since the 8th of I don't know, Lakon, what's happening? Okay, yeah, so you've seen that they've all been trending higher. Gold is going up and dollar index is going up. That is very, very weird. Very, very weird. So it's making me wonder what exactly is happening in the global markets because I've been expecting a sell off either on gold or a sell off on the dollar. A sell off on one of them because they've been going in the same direction. So that has thrown me off balance with regard to sentiment, but I'm expecting a snap. One of them should snap back down because when you are buying gold, you are selling dollar. A buy of gold is an automatic sell of dollar. So for gold to be buying and for the dollar to be buying at the same time, they are really selling something. And of course, it's clear what that something is, and that's the Japanese yen. That's the Japanese yen. So if you do an index of JPY yen basket, there should be some measure of selling pressure. So this is what I was expecting when CPI comes out, there will be a correction. I was expecting a correction when CPI comes out, but I didn't see that correction at all. I saw it on the other pairs, XXX USD, that's the Euro USD, and some other pairs. But typically, when gold goes up, the dollar is supposed to go down. So I want to see when those flows return. So right now, what is going on is just short-term scalping, because with regard to sentiment, this alone has thrown me off track. This alone has thrown me off track. So it's just short-term scalping on the smaller time frames that one can really look at. And that's because I trade sentiment. Of course, if you're a structured trader or a liquidity trader or just trading box pattern, you don't need to pay attention to all of this. But sentiment plays a very strong role in my trading. All right. So these are just my thoughts. That's why lately maybe I have not been giving as much commentary, because I'm waiting for this divergence, to this positive correlation where gold is going up and dollar is going up. I'm waiting for it to be corrected. Then one can know what to expect in the market. All right. But with regard to potential trades for today, we have the CHF JPY. And why am I looking at CHF JPY? I said something a while ago about CHF JPY, how that they are cutting interest rates on the Swiss franc and increasing, let's see CHF JPY, and they are increasing interest rates on the Japanese yen. Now there's still a rate differential. Japanese yen did 10 basis points hike, and Swiss franc did, I think, 25 basis points cut. So the Swiss franc still offers more interest than the Japanese yen, but they have reduced it. So look at that box pattern. Look at that IOFED. Yes, there. So that's the shoulder, that's the sweep. That's the sweep there. That's the fair value gap. Of course, we have liquidity. That's the shoulder there. There's also a shoulder at the top, although that's an order block right there. But anyway, so that's a failed order block there. Yes. So that place has become a flip zone. That order block there. No, not there, not there. The buy, sell, buy, the rally, just before that IOFED, that red candle. Yes. That's a reclaimed order block. It was supposed to hold price and send price higher. But after it sent price higher and price came back to it, it was not able to hold price. Exactly that doji, exactly there. So that is a flip zone where previous support has become resistance. So we can mark that whole region. Yes. Now let's bring it down to a 4-hour time frame. So I'm saying this is for a sell. This is for a sell. This is for a sell. 4-hour time frame. Okay. So where's my shoulder? Where's my sweep? Where's my shoulder? Where's my sweep? That's the shoulder, that's the sweep, that's the break of structure to the downside, right? Then that's another shoulder there. There's a grab of liquidity. That's another shoulder, the triple top there, triple top there, top. Then there's a grab of liquidity, a sweep. So what are we waiting for price to do now? Is for price to break to the downside. So zoom out a bit, zoom out a bit. All right, so there's a low, there's liquidity all ahead, that whole place, diagonal liquidity all the way up. If you draw a trend line, exactly, there's liquidity, diagonal liquidity, slanting liquidity. No, not there, Lekon, at the base, exactly, all the way, exactly. That's liquidity there now. That's liquidity there. So I'm expecting a push of price back into that left shoulder, 169.50 levels, and then it drops all the way back down. So taps into that fair value gap, Exactly there, 169. There's a fair value gap there again. So you tap into that and see what price will do. If it taps into that place and breaks this diagonal liquidity, then it's going all the way down. So we can zoom out a bit so we can see where it's going. Of course, where will it be going? It's going to a fair value gap or it's going to opposite liquidity. Zoom out, not in, out. Out. So why am I looking at CHF JPY for the sell? As you can clearly see, okay. So it's going to break that level. And of course, if it breaks that level, boom, is coming all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. All right. Where is the liquidity? We can go back to the daily to see where to probably go. The run on liquidity, where it's going. Exactly. Tap up, then come down. That's one. Another thing it can do is break that diagonal liquidity, grab it to the downside and just keep coming down. And just keep coming down. Exactly. So we can see it right there as he zoomed out. I don't know if this makes sense. If this is clear to anybody here. Are you seeing this or you're not? You're not. So another thing we can do is move to the 15 minutes if we want to look for an entry immediately. Move to the 15 minutes. But what has been drawn here is the preferred move. It's the preferred move. Okay, so on the 15 minutes, there is that order block right there at 167.59 levels. There's that order block there, and there's a double bottom there. That's where price wants to go. That's where price is going. So if it breaks all that liquidity, you can see there's also diagonal liquidity there again. Exactly. That's horizontal liquidity. And there's also a slanting liquidity too. All the way there. Exactly. So we have seen potential places where price may likely get to break it and come all the way down, all the way down. Okay. So for the entries, you can see different box patterns that have been drawn there. Price will try to break through and tap into 167.25 levels. That's about 60 pips away. That's about 60 pips away. All right. So is there any fair value gap that can be a pullback if you want to take a trade right now? If you don't want it to go back into that 4-hour zone, the place where it can potentially get a pullback from. Let's see. Zoom into or 5 minutes time frame. Is this making sense? Does anybody understand how I'm arriving at this? Okay. So fair value gap, test back into the fair value gap. Then another fair value gap, test back into the fair value gap. Where's the most recent fair value gap that has not been tested? Okay, there's an inverted fair value gap there. Yes, right where price is inverted there. But now, me, I would like to see price maybe do up a bit, tap into, yeah, because especially because of the Asian lows. That's the Asian low there. That's the flip zone there at 168.15 level. 168.15 level. Yeah, so I want to see price tap just above 168.15 level and then come back down. For those of you who can't wait for it to go all the way up. So what's the rationale? The rationale is the liquidity pattern is there, is clear. The rationale is that they are cutting interest rates on Swiss franc, making it less attractive, and they are increasing interest rates on Japanese yen gradually, making it more attractive. The higher time frame, you've seen it on the daily. You've seen the liquidity. You've seen the box pattern on the daily. So this is what one is looking at. But the ideal trade is for you to go back to that 4-hour. Let's go back to the 4-hour. If we can save that markup, I'd like us to see what happened during New York session when we do our New York session market column. So let's hit on 4-hour. So yes, this is what is available right now. Why am I not doing any dollar pair analysis because dollar right now is refusing to correlate. It's refusing to correlate. It's really refusing to correlate. Exactly. So we can take a screenshot of this and see where price wants to likely go. All right. Did anyone gain anything from what was said today? Did anyone learn anything from what was said today? Anybody? Anybody? Take a screenshot of this later. After, send it to me on the WhatsApp. So I really want to look at this. Did anybody gain anything today? Please talk, let's know. Sashay, you did? You did? Okay. Okay, so just a recap. I said how that the fact that the dollar is going up and gold is going up and has been doing so on the daily time frame, something is very wrong. The manipulation is heavy. The manipulation is heavy. Gold should not be going up and dollar going up at the same time on the daily for days since March, almost a month. When that thing will correct itself, it's going to be wicked. The volatility is going to be serious when that thing will correct itself. So that's the first. Then the second thing I said is because of the negative correlation, funny correlation in the dollar, let's move to the cross pairs, right? And CHF-JPY, and I gave you the reason why. But typically, I look at dollar, I look at what's going on in the dollar, the sentiment on the dollar, and then try to see whether we're on risk on or risk off. So yes, that's basically it. If you have any specific question, kindly ask. If not, so trade very carefully, short-term scalps, especially if you are doing anything on GU, EU, USD, CHF, AUD, USD, NZD, USD, USD card. Just go for small moves. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. After this, I'm going to check through Forex Live to see if there's any fundamental explanation for this weird dollar behavior. I'm also going to check through Forex Factory to see if there's any news next week, major news that can serve as the platform to correct this thing. I thought CPI would correct it, but it did not. All right, guys. Thank you. I'm also reading Ray Dalio's recent posts. Yes, GU is ranging on daily. It has been, in fact, this whole quarter has been ranging. Only gold. Gold is the one that has just been pointing upwards. Yeah. All right, then. Thank you very much. Cheers and God bless. See you in the afternoon. Look on screen, grab this and send this to me. Thank you. Which book am I reading? I'm not reading any book. What I'm doing is Ray Dalio, Bridgewater Associates. Ray Dalio, I follow him on LinkedIn, and he's always sharing his thoughts on the markets, climate change, geopolitical instability, interest rates and monetary policy, central bank monetary policy. So he just released a new article this morning. So I'm going to read up on it because my understanding of even global macro and seeing that everything is connected, I got that from Ray Dalio, which is Bridgewater all-weather strategy, which he has been using for decades now. So I want to read his thoughts to understand why gold will be going up for days and dollar too will be going up. That's very weird. Very, very weird. All right. So that's it. So I don't really read books. I read articles. Because if you read a book for the market is always changing. So I read Medium articles, LinkedIn articles, then I listen to YouTube updates. There are some people I listen to. For the yen, I listen to Weston Nakamura, across the spread. For the dollar, I have people I listen to. Well, dollar, I just look at the charts, really. For the global macro picture fundamentals and an overview, I listen to Ray Dalio. From day-to-day global macro updates, I listen to Darius Dale and some other people. All right, then. So not really books. Books will help you with a fundamental understanding. Like, I mean, I have global macro trading here. So it just shows you the basics. I have brand to me, currency, trading. So those ones tells you the basics, but updating it on a daily market basis is YouTube. Thank you, everyone. Hang in there. Trading will get better and easier. Don't give up. Cheers. God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. Like you've had, don't give up. You give up, you fuck up. Okay? So give it your best. And as you all know, by 3 p.m., we are coming back again for the New York recap of the market color. See you by 3 p.m. Cheers and God bless. Make sure you use your proper risk management strategy. Until we meet by then, I remain the See you by 3 p.m. Cheers and God bless.